Hi, it's me again with Corel Tips and Tricks. Somebody sent me this file and they want to engrave it, but they want the hat and the rope to look like it's more hanging on the fence. So I've done it and I think it looks pretty good, with the exception that the one I'm doing it for, it's pretty small. You could make it smaller and test it to make sure my theory works. Because what I had to do, I had to put some white in the rope so it would hide these lines. And it hid most of them. I don't even know what these other lines are. You could get rid of them. So I want you to test it. I mean, it's RGB white when you do this. And you can see down here, it's RGB white. Now you could probably delete the white from that hat. Maybe. Well, maybe not. Okay, I don't even have white selected. But anyway, I would test it. There it is. There's white. Let me hit delete. There must be a couple layers of white. There is. So the way I did it. So I want you to test it. Maybe make it even smaller. RGB white does not engrave, but it will also, in theory, block out the other lines. So here's the original, and it's already ungrouped. So I'm going to put my nudge factor on like 4 inches, and I'm going to take the cowboy and the rope, or the hat. Then I'm going to go, because some of these lines are going to give you problems. The only, downside in it, there's so many things going on with this drawing. If we go to object and ungroup them all, and, you almost have to do this. So take individual, I'm nudging things up to get them out of the way. Whoop, got too much. That one's connected to the line, as you can see. And you could quite possibly, grab all this and left click, right click, and then fill in the lines, but you'd have to do a lot of filling with the cowboy hat gone. So we're not going to do that. What I want to do is now take this hat and I'm going to draw a rectangle. I'm going to use blue, and I'm going to fill that in and nudge it over, fill in the inside, nudge it over, and there's one more spot right here. Fill this in and nudge it over. So that gives me that. But now what I can do is that's the entire rope. Well, no, that must be a leaker. Anyway, this is going to work. I'm pretty sure. So now let's take this and use the Smart Fill tool and fill it in with white. Now we're going to move it over, go up to Object, Order, back a page, and you can still see the rope. You could make some of the rope white, but now it's all white. And we could take it, and I'm going to nudge it back. Whoop. Let me group that together. Let me get rid of my box. Control G to group it, and I'm going to nudge it over. Now I'm just going to take it and move it down to wherever you think that it should be. So the white is blocking those lines. And now you can take these, let me just move this out of the way, and then take these and get a little bit closer. And I would just hand put them back in there. They're what making the wood look like wood. So you could grab that one and put it there, grab this one and put it here, grab this one and put it here, maybe save some spots for the longer pieces. And You don't have to use them all. You could take that double one and just kind of, not that far, that small, and put it like right there. So all you're doing is making like the waves of the wood. Now, the gentleman I'm helping, I've helped out quite a few times, and I know he will test. I would go out and test it this weekend, but I've got a busy weekend. So that's going to look like it's ready to go. Now, just one more thing. If we take a yellow box, go up to Object, Order, back of page, there's a lot of white there, but there's no black showing through it. So all this black should engrave, and the black down here should engrave, but the white should not engrave, but the white, in theory, because that line isn't there, even this white between the rope isn't going to engrave. But I'm going to keep this file, and maybe one day next week I'll test it and report back. But for the one I'm doing it for, Control G to group that. So you can make it real little. Just take you a scrap piece of wood and run that. Now, we have to go back to the original size. And what I would do is grab it all and go up to Object and Order or Group and Ungroup All, and then select. I'd actually nudge my text out of the way for a second, grab all this, hit your outline pen or hit F12 on your keyboard, and scale with Object. Then let's move this back. Hopefully this will work. Control G to group it, and then make it smaller. And that way the lines in the rope aren't any bigger. So you could run that as a test. It's only, a little over 2 inches, a little over 3 inches. You can make it smaller. But for the one I'm doing it for, if it works, send me a picture of it, what you did. Hope that helped a little bit. Thank you for watching.